I'm not live to the general public on Saturdays. Usually it's just for my members, but I haven't been here for a while. I'm going to open my blinds really fast. That's a little better. Yeah, usually I'm just here for my members, but I haven't been around for a hot minute because I've been on my retreat in Sedona. So I figured I would make this visible for everyone. Hopefully it's working. But say hi for here. Um, yeah, I was on my retreat in Sedona. I host Witchcraft Wellness retreats, so I was there for the past week, and yeah, I'm working on. So again, usually lives are only for members. I'm working on my membership schedule for July. But yeah. Hello, friends. So this is going to be, and I'm also live streaming this because I do this every week. I do weekly tarot astrology, and usually a yoga class. It's just going to be the tarot and astrology. But I figured we would come together live today, and then I would just be on my page for the week. So yeah, a good way of like getting back into the swing of things. So say hi if you're here. Hopefully YouTube will work and show me the comments. Sometimes it like doesn't want to show comments properly, but hopefully it will. We're going to talk about the astrology this week, and we're also going to do a little tarot reading. I did get a new tarot deck while I was in Sedona, and I'm feeling like really attached to it. Like I'm feeling really connected to it. I haven't felt this connected to a deck in a long time. So this is the main deck we're going to be using. It's the Ethereal Visions Tarot, the Luna edition. So I've seen like, thank you, friend. It is a little kind of off-toned right now because it's been a while. I have to sneeze. Oh, is it gonna come or not? Maybe not. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting it kind of to silver touched up here in a bit. There it is. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, this is my new favorite deck. I've always seen the Ethereal Visions Tarot, like the normal version. And it's more of like a Virgo kind of energy. It's like very green and like foresty. And this one is definitely more like Pisces, water sign vibes. It's like the dark edition, and it's a really great deck, and I've just been feeling really drawn to it. So that's the main deck we're going to use, and then we're also going to use the after tarot. But first we're going to go over, thank you, we're going to go over the astrology for this week. I did miss last week because again I was in Sedona, so we did have some transits and things happen last week. We're going to kind of touch on that today, and we're going to touch on what's happening this week. So this is for the week of June 30th through July 6th, the astrology that's going on, any major transits or major lunations that we need to know. The first big one that just happened actually today, I'm pretty sure today is the 29th. So as of the day that I am streaming this, Saturn is going retrograde in Pisces. This is, it's not like a super, Saturn is kind of a big deal just because it is the planet of like of karma, of up leveling. It does kind of affect us because it's I wrote down stern parrot energy. It is definitely a little intense. You might have heard, if you're into astrology, you might have heard of the term of your Saturn return. This is when Saturn returns to the sign that you were born under, that it was in when you were born. And this usually happens around 27 to 30 years old. And then it happens again around like 57 to 60 because it happens usually 2 or 3 times in our lifetime. And your Saturn return again is when Saturn returns to the planet that it was in when you were born. And this is kind of like, I like to think of it like almost an extended Mercury retrograde because it's usually like 1 or 2 years where you have to up level, because again, Saturn is our planet of karma, of discipline, of like graduating, of up leveling. It's giving very like judgment vibes in the tarot. But Saturn is like Big Daddy karma. And so we have right now, Saturn is in Pisces. And as of today, Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, and it will be until early November. And we also have Neptune in Pisces right now. Pisces has been in Neptune for like a hot minute. And Neptune is ruled by Pisces. So Neptune is that very like dreamy Pisces, like imagination, intuition, a little delusional kind of vibes. And then with Saturn in Pisces, and now retrograde in Pisces, it's like really bringing those dreams into reality. I wrote something about that. Rebuilding dreams. Yeah, that's what I wrote. I take notes for all the astrological transits happening in my handbook for the Recently Immortal journal. It's a combo of that Beetlejuice and Dracula. But so this Saturn retrograde in Pisces is very much like, if you want to make those kind of delusional Neptune and Pisces dreams, those like big goals, wishes, dreams that you have that might seem kind of like not in this realm yet, this Saturn retrograde in Pisces is actually going to help us. Is it going to be tough sometimes? Yes. Is there going to be lessons? Is Saturn retrograde in Pisces going to encourage you to create boundaries and level up even when it's hard? Yes. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm saying it's going to be worth it. So that's kind of the major transit that we have happening starting today. And I mean, I've seen this energy kind of show up for myself and people that I know. I'm going through kind of a rebrand right now. You'll be seeing my names on my platforms changing from Nourish Natasha to like my actual name over the next few days as I kind of work that out with the social media platforms. It's hard when you're verified or you have a lot of followers. You have to like jump through a lot of hoops to get anything changed. So you're going to see that happening, kind of like a rebrand to more, just kind of myself, so I can kind of have more expansive type of content. And my best friend is like currently kind of starting new things and kind of like almost rebranding herself. I've had a lot of people, especially at the Sedona retreat that I was just at. I've had a lot of people at that retreat specifically that were like ending old careers or things and starting new beginnings. It's been this like theme of like rebranding, almost rebranding yourself and kind of in line with your current dreams and goals and that sort of thing. So that's kind of the vibe of this Saturn retrograde, is like this rebranding, rebuilding. We just had last week our full moon in Capricorn, our summer solstice. That's what was going on while I was in Sedona. And both of those things were, again, really about recommitting, reinvesting to yourself and to your dreams. And I think this Saturn retrograde is kind of supporting it. You are going to see, as with any retrograde, we see a lot of fear mongering behind the concept of retrogrades. And retrogrades aren't that bad. I think that, oh, hi, Jack. I think that astrology isn't good or bad, just like the tarot isn't good or bad. It's energy, and how can you work with it? Yeah, some of it can be intense and not so fun, but we can still just work with the energy. And so you're going to see a lot of people probably like fear mongering Saturn retrograde. It's just energy we got to work with. And how do you work with it? You set boundaries, you level up, you boss up, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. You take the lessons, you learn the lessons, you receive your karma. And if you know that you've been working hard on your stuff and you're owed some good karma, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, I promise. Other kind of, not necessarily minor transitions we have, but other like planetary transitions we have happening this week. We have Mercury moving into Leo on July 2nd. So, we're going from Mercury in Cancer, which is more like emotional, excuse me, not Cancer. I think that's actually going to be next. What was Gemini? Mercury was in Gemini. Cancer, Mercury's moving into Cancer soon, but we're going from that Mercury and Gemini energy of kind of like very chatty, very just very sociable, but like almost in a kind of overwhelming sort of way. It's very like open, overactive throat chakra energy. And the Mercury and Leo energy is kind of similar because it is a fire sign. But Mercury, right, our planet of communication and how we communicate, is moving into Leo. So you might find that your communication, the way you speak, the way you just kind of show up is very confident and very grand. I wrote confident, grand, expressive, and theatrical. It's that Leo energy, baby. I'm also a fire sign Mercury. I'm an Aries Mercury, so that's a little bit more aggressive, but it's the same fire sign energy. I'm also a Leo moon, so it's this very dramatic, grand, expressive, passionate kind of about, you're not afraid to kind of show up and be yourself and be passionate about it. So that's that Mercury and Leo transit, which is nice. We still have Venus in Cancer, Mars in Taurus. And then, like I said, we have a few planets in Pisces as well. But yeah, the only other thing happening this week that's kind of a big deal. Big deal. It's a major lunation. We have a new moon in Cancer coming up this week on July 5th. New moons, the start of the new moon cycle, are about manifesting, setting goals, setting intentions. And a new moon in Cancer is a really good vibe because Cancer rules the moon, feels at home in the moon. Well, whereas we just had that full moon in Capricorn where it was kind of like opposing. Cancer and Capricorn are sister signs, so they're kind of opposing energies. But this new moon in Cancer is definitely going to be soft, sweet. Great time I wrote new plans in home and family and emotions, setting your intentions around those things. And that Cancer energy is very nurturing energy. Great time to nurture your goals, nurture you know, especially in the home and your family and your friends and like emotions, and take care of yourself and take care of your dreams. Again, with that Saturn retrograde in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, it's like really, it's giving like Ace of Cups kind of energy. Like, how do you water and nurture your goals, your wishes, your dreams, the seeds that you may have planted? You know, we just had that full moon in Capricorn, and our summer solstice planted some seeds, hopefully. And now it's like, how do we water them? How do we nurture them? Kind of like Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups kind of energy of like, okay, now we gotta like actually nurture these things. So that's that new moon in Cancer vibe. Again, it's coming up on July 5th, and I will have a yoga class and full tarot reading for that new moon. That's pretty much it, y'all. So if you have any questions about the astrology, feel free to drop them in the comments. Again, I'm live streaming, so if you want to ask, now is the time. But we're going to get into this tarot reading. So we're going to tap into the energy of this week for the collective. Like I said, using this nice shiny new deck that I'm kind of obsessed with. It's going to be extra shiny because I'm like sitting in the sun, so it's going to be very reflective-y. It's just like the perfect like size. It's almost a little too big because I do have tiny baby hands, but it just fits in my hand. It's very shiny and rainbow and reflective. It does have a guidebook, which is nice, and it comes with, you know, usually tarot is the same 72 cards in every deck. And this deck actually comes with, I think, 2 cards that aren't in the normal tarot, the normal major arcana, which is interesting. I have yet to pull them, but maybe we'll pull them today. But yeah, I've been using this deck for my own personal readings. I've been using this deck for, I kind of just wanted to play around with it. So I was doing some like free 1-card pulls on my Instagram, and I don't know, it just feels really good. So it also smells really good. I don't know if y'all are like me and you like the way like books and decks and things smell, but it smells really good. But yeah, what is the energy this week for the collective? What do we need to know? What's going on? Also, say hi if you're watching. I could see y'all watching. I haven't seen any comments come through, and that could be because YouTube is being weird. Sometimes it doesn't show comments, but I'm happy to be here with y'all. I know it's been a hot minute, but as I go through this kind of like rebranding process and, you know, shifting, I hope to be posting a lot more. It's been a rough couple of months, y'all. It has been a lot of loss and grief and changes and just a lot of things happening in my life, but I feel better. I think, you know, the healing is beginning, at least for me, and getting out of that kind of like icky energy. And I'm moving to Salem permanently in 2 months, which is really exciting. So new beginnings, certainly. Hello, friend. Yes, this is our collective reading and astrology for this week. I don't usually, again, go live to everybody. Usually this is just in my membership. But because it's been a hot minute, I figured I would come on here and say hello. Otherwise, if you enjoy these live readings, we do these every week in my membership. And I will be dropping my membership calendar for July later today. Or probably tomorrow. I watch your readings while getting ready for work. Thank you, Fran. I appreciate it. Sometimes I watch my own readings and I'm like, this is weird. My favorite reader here on YouTube is actually Universal Intuition. She's also a Pisces. She does zodiac readings every month. She's amazing. And I also like Minnow Pond Tarot. Those are both kind of my favorite readers to watch while I'm getting ready. I watch them every morning while I'm making breakfast. But yeah, so we're already starting off strong with the Queen of Swords here. Absolutely, definitely too shiny. It's like right in the sun. So the Queen of Swords, who's behind that? Yeah, right behind, literally, the Three of Swords is right behind the Queen of Swords. Look at these cards. They're just so beautiful. And here's the Queen of Swords. I'm trying to get it like not in the sun so you can actually see the card. But these are beautiful cards. So the Queen of Swords right over the Three of Swords. Now you can see here, there's 3 swords in that heart. The Three of Swords is our card of heartbreak and breakups and grief. You know, you got those 3 swords in your heart, whatever it may be. It could be a breakup with a partner. It could be a breakup with a friend. It could be loss. You lost somebody. Any type of heartbreak is the 3 of Swords. Feels like those swords are in your heart, right? And right on top of it is the Queen of Swords. How do we start to move past this? By setting boundaries. The Queen of Swords is the Queen of Boundaries. She kind of gets a bad rep of being like the ice queen, very, you know, you know, she's not afraid to take that sword and like kind of cut off what needs to be cut off, or just like, you know, bring it down upon the people that, you know, need to be Oh, my camera just like shifted. Um, Jack is sitting right outside the door because my best friend just moved in and she has a cat, and Jack is like in love with the cat. Um, but the Queen of Swords, you know, traditionally, she's a little bit different in this deck. But traditionally, it's very interesting. She actually almost kind of, oh, that's like smoke. It almost looks like water. But she's the Queen of Air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Usually she has a sword in one hand and then the other hand is kind of like outstretched. And the reminder of the Queen of Swords is like, you can't cut everything out. You can't cut everybody out. You can't just like go ghost and like, you know, completely chop out everything from your life. You do have to keep yourself open to receive, right? We don't want to like completely cut ourselves off from receiving. But we do need to bring down that sword sometimes. We do need to set boundaries. And I think something also to remember is that when we think of setting boundaries, we usually think that it comes after the Three of Swords, right? We think that it has to, like, something bad has to happen or some issue has to arise in a relationship for us to be like, okay, I need to set boundaries. That's not the case. You can set boundaries in a perfectly healthy relationship. Boundaries are a part of perfectly healthy relationships. Also, boundaries don't have to just be with other people. You can set personal boundaries with yourself. If you know that maybe you are kind of doing something you're not supposed to, you want to work on improving yourself, you want to change something in your life, set some boundaries with yourself. And I honestly think that boundaries with yourself are even harder to hold than boundaries with other people because, you know, it's that battle kind of with ourselves of like, but I want to do this like thing that I know I'm not supposed to be doing, you know? But yeah, boundaries. I literally wrote in my notes for the Saturn retrograde in Pisces, like, make those boundaries, hold those boundaries. I'm so sorry, friend. I'm calling myself out. Look at Jack. He's like, please, please, I want to see the kitty. They love each other secretly. Her name is Miss Honey, and she's the cutest kitty ever. But yeah, so what else we need to know? Oh, this deck is so reflective. It's like casting reflections and rainbows on my wall. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. How should we be setting boundaries? What should we be kind of like allowing to guide us at this time? Is a Six of Pentacles. Equal giving and receiving. Equal give and take. You know, where kind of look at, you know, your, hi friend, like where you're kind of giving and receiving and where is it unbalanced. You know, that person's holding the scales in their hands. Come on, light, cooperate. Yeah, bathe in rainbows for sure. We'll just embrace the light. We'll embrace the shiny because these cards are so beautiful. Six of Pentacles. Take a look at where the give and take is unbalanced and, you know, set boundaries as needed. And again, this can be with yourself, this can be with other people. It doesn't mean that, I think we also think that setting boundaries is being mean. It's not being mean. It's not. It's like being like kind to yourself and also kind to others, you know, because sometimes the boundaries are needed for both parties, you know. But evaluate like where there needs to be, where the give and take is unequal. Seven of Swords. Yeah, this is, you know, the Seven of Swords kind of gets the bad rep of being a card of lying, cheating, stealing, which it absolutely can be. There might be some of this energy around you, someone being sneaky or someone just, you know, being lying. I always think of that meme song, like, why do you lie? Like, that's the song that comes to mind with the Seven of Swords. But the Seven of Swords can also be going about things in a different way. What's literally happening in this card is, he can see, interesting here, he's like shoved the swords into his cloak. He's literally stealing the swords away from battle. He's like, but if I steal the swords away from battle, nah, you can't fight. And he's like, got him. So it can be a card of like doing things in a different way. Maybe it's like you are setting boundaries in a different way. It's feeling like a roundabout. It's kind of like a roundabout to a solution, which sometimes, you know, I think that we should just face things like head on, but sometimes we need to take that kind of like roundabout way or look at things in a different light, look at things kind of in a different way, do things in a different way. If maybe you've like tried to set boundaries before and it just hasn't worked, or you have tried to kind of remedy the relationship with you and somebody else or whatever, and there's still that kind of like unequal give and take. Maybe it's time to go about things in a different way. Like, maybe it's time to just be like, peace out. And that's kind of what I'm doing in a situation I'm dealing with, is just being like, you know, I just, sometimes no answer is the best answer. You know what I mean? Just maybe there's something you need to kind of look at in a different way, go about in a different way than you normally would. Something like that. Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. We love to see it. These are such beautiful cards, y'all. Like, I don't think you understand how obsessed I am with this deck. Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Literally, Queen of Home, Earth, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Queen of Resources, Queen of Abundance. You know, she is, what is that, like, term? Like, unbothered, moisturized, staying in her lane, like, staying in her home and making her home, like, everything that she wants, and really just focused on herself, focused on her own abundance with the Nine of Cups, wish come true, wish fulfillment. This is the Ethereal Visions Luna edition. I just got it in Sedona and I'm obsessed with it. There is a regular one that's like green, but this is the dark or the Luna edition. Then the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. Wish is coming true. Also Pisces energy. You know, like I said, we have that Saturn retrograde in Pisces as well as Neptune in Pisces. And honestly, this is kind of the vibe of the Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Like, focusing on you, that very grounded, tangible, resourceful, working on your own abundance in the physical realm, combined with the delusion of Pisces, combined with the wishfulness, the imagining kind of your biggest goals, wishes, dreams, a little bit of delusional energy with the Nine of Cups. How do we apply the Nine of Cups to our actual life? How do we actually take our dreams out of that not real space, out of that, like, just kind of mental, emotional, dreamy space? How do we bring it down to earth? How do we bring it down into reality? So yeah, definitely the vibe of that Saturn retrograde in Pisces. What else do we need to know as a collective? I just love the way this deck smells. I know it's weird, but it just smells really good. It's really nice, like, cardstock too. Will we have any more Chaos Mode cards pop out? The world, we never know. All right, we'll pull the old-fashioned way. Three of Wands. Yeah, that's definitely been a stalker card for sure. The Three of Wands, again, this is all very like Saturn retrograde kind of vibes. Figuring out the plan. That's the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands can signify a delay, you know, but he is looking out over the horizon, over this cliff. He's like trying to figure out where to go. He's trying to figure out not where to go. He knows where he's going. It's the how. How are we going to get there? We want, you know, Wands is passion, creativity. We want to follow those things, but how are we, what's the best way? What's the best path to get there? I don't know why this card, this depiction of this card specifically is reminding me of Wash and Firefly when he's like, we shall rule over all this land and call it this land. Like, that's the vibe. But yeah, figuring out the best possible path forward. Because we know, right, he knows where he wants to go. He wants to follow this, you know, he has the end goal in sight. But look at all the different, you know, there's different pathways to take to get there. He could go by land, he could go by water. He's like, I don't know. Figuring out the best, most beneficial path forward, with the less, the path with the least resistance, you know? Work smarter, not harder, for some reason, is like coming to mind with that. Like, you know. All right. What else we need to know? We'll do 3 more from this deck, just so we're nice and even, because I already have 4 cards in the top row. So we'll do 3 more, and then we'll clarify with the After Tarot. There's that 3 of Swords again, lurking. Ooh, that is such a cool card. It's the Death card, my friends, and it is so cool looking. Look at that. I love this deck. I haven't pulled this card from this deck yet, and I am obsessed. This is a card of Scorpio. The Death card, which a lot of people are afraid of. It's death and rebirth. Don't be afraid of the Death card, because it is intense, yes, but it is not all bad. The death of the old, out with the old and in with the new, my friends. It's, you know, it's the caterpillar versus the butterfly, right? It's, you know, the caterpillar has to die and turn to goo before it comes out the other end a butterfly. And you know, it's again that like it's a very definitive energy, right? And that's the best way that I can kind of put it. The best example that I can give that I'm currently going through is, again, I'm going through this kind of rebranding. I'll be dropping the nourished from my name, so I'm just going to go by my full name. And I've been nourished Natasha for 5 years, and that it feels very weird to finally like switch to something new. And it's kind of again the death of the old and the beginning of something new, but it feels very finite. It feels very like this is like over. And there's a grief associated with that. Like Nourish Natasha is my baby. It's the thing that has carried me for the past 5 years. And it's as much excited as I am to start new things, it's still kind of sad and kind of scary, that's the death energy. And there's the Empress. Would you look at that? Right on the other side of death is the Empress. Now, the Empress is the divine feminine. She is Venusian energy, Taurus Libra energy, self care, luxury vibes, creativity vibes, card of pregnancy, but doesn't have to be like pregnant with like an actual baby. It could be pregnant with an idea. However, she is also the receiving energy. And I think whatever this death is, whatever, is kind of dying and leaving your life, and then the rebirth that comes out on the other end is you're going to be in receiving mode. It's time to receive, my friends. The thing about the Saturn retrograde in Pisces is if you know that, again, you've been doing your hard work, you've been putting in the work, you have some good karma coming your way, maybe that you have been in your giving energy a lot, you've been in that outer, like, emperor energy of, like, hard work, boss up, level up, I'm taking care of everybody else, I'm taking care of myself, I'm, putting out this very, like, emperor masculine Aries energy. Now it's time to switch that. It's time to be in your receiving energy. It's a much softer energy. It's a much more like, I don't want to say chill, but again, it's just that receiving instead of the giving energy, which, let me tell you, I am ready for. And the Page of Wands. Oh my goodness, I just threw it. The Page of Wands, and I just realized the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Again, moving on. Yes, receivership, absolutely. Six of Swords. Look, he's getting in his boat and he is moving on to calmer shores, my friends. A card of moving, card of travel. But swords is our suit of the mind. Could be you're just like letting go of old things in your minds, new neural pathways forward, letting go of old ways of thinking, finding some new ways of thinking, but he's getting in his boat and leaving everything behind to go somewhere new. So again, maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're thinking about, again, leaving behind the old to pursue the new. I say do it, especially with the Page of Wands. New adventures, passionate new beginnings. It's very similar to the Three of Wands. These cards are very similar in this deck. Like taking that wand and going out on an adventure, friends. And what is the wand, right? What is wands? Wands is our suit of creativity and passion and fire. So that's all you need to go on this adventure. All right, let's clarify with the after tarot, which I just split the deck. There's the Three of Wands yet again. We'll just get a couple cards of clarification. What else do we need to know? Oh, my hair keeps getting stuck in the cards. These long extensions are a blessing and a curse. They get stuck everywhere. There's literally hair everywhere. And especially when you wear all black, having like silver blonde hair, my whole car is just like, my car is like all black and it's like so clean except for like hair literally everywhere. There's the King of Swords. We started this reading with the Queen of Swords and now we have the King of Swords. Mental clarity, my friends. While there is, we have the Nine of Cups, following your wishes, dreams, lots of wands energy of following your creativities, your passions. There's not so much the following your heart type of energy here. It kind of is, right, with the cups and the wands, because that's like our passions is usually our heart. But the King of Swords is reminding us to stay mentally clear. This is, again, that kind of like Big Daddy Saturn energy coming through to be like, But make sure you're being logical about this. Make sure you're like up-leveling, graduating, being smart about this. Like, seeing the path ahead clearly, not getting distracted, mental clarity, intellect, like use your brain. Use your brain. Don't just catapult yourself forward kind of unhinged or unprepared, right? We got that Saturn retrograde. That would be the wrong thing to do. Well, Saturn's in retrograde. It's all about that up level, you know? Who did I just drop? Where'd you go? Of course it fell down like the one crack in my desk. Come on, card. Oh my god. It's like the most unfortunate spot. Okay, it just keeps like wedging itself further like underneath my desk. Please hold. Who are you? And why are you giving me so much trouble? Ace of Swords. There is the Ace of Swords, my friends, just kind of reiterating the mental clarity, new neural pathways, new ways of thinking. Very interesting that there's a falcon on this card too. I noticed on the Three of Wands in this deck, the person was like sending out a falcon to kind of go scope out the way ahead. And maybe that's what you need to do. Also, I just realized there's one on the King of Swords as well. Look at that. Maybe you need to go kind of send out, like, take some little risks, take some little like moves forward to see, to scope out kind of like the path ahead, you know, so we can just go about these new adventures and moving forward in the most logical way possible. Let's just get one more from this deck. Queen of Swords again. There she is. That's how we started this reading, and that's how we're going to end it. The High Priestess. Absolutely. Follow your intuition, my dudes. I know it's way easier said than done, and a lot of the times we're like, but what is my intuition, and like, what's anxiety? Like, we're also dysregulated with like mind-body connection and not connected to our intuition that we can't really tell like what is intuition and what's not, but you know, like, it's a practice. It's a practice of trusting yourself. There's just like one piece of hair. What are you doing, sir? Go back to your assigned seat. No, back to your assigned seat. You know, we question ourselves a lot, which is, you know, from trauma and just lots of things. But the enemy of intuition is self-doubt. Stop doubting yourself. Look at this. Stop it. Go back. Okay. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt. Trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition. So, all that being said, we're now going to pull some cards from this wonderful little deck. It's called the Illuminator's Amulet. It's from the Threads of Fate. This is one of my favorite it's kind of like an oracle deck, but not really. I would more so describe it as a magic 8-ball. So you know how magic 8-balls will give you like yes or no answers. They'll also give you like try asking again, or like weird vague like little like So what I usually recommend for this deck is think of a question, preferably one that maybe has a yes or no answer, but think of a question in your mind. You totally don't have to share it in the comments. You can keep it private to yourself. We're just going to pull a few of these. And, you know, think of this question, and we're going to get some answers. Now, here's the thing. I think, like, when you flip a coin, how you feel about the answer you get is more important than the answer itself. So let's say you're asking a question, should I do this? Or, yeah, should I do this? And you flip a coin, and the coin says no, and you feel really disappointed. You're like, but that's not the answer I wanted. That probably means that you should go and do that thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of almost like a practice of intuition. Like, it depends more so about how you feel about the answer than the answer itself. Or, like, on the other end of that, let's say you're asking, should I do this? Hi. Can I help you? What are you doing? You want to do the reading with us? Yeah, you my baby boy. You my baby boy. Jack wanted to be included. I'm almost done. You know. Anyways, so let's say you're asking, should I do this? And the answer is yes. And then you feel like super excited. Like, yeah, I got the clarification I wanted. Does that make sense? Like, don't take the yes or no answers as like end all be all. Go based more on your feelings about the answer. So think about your question. Think about whatever it is you want to ask. Again, you can keep it to yourself. You don't have to post it in the comments or whatever. We're just gonna pull like 3 of these. Watch, it's gonna be like yes, no, ask again later, or something really silly. My favorite card in this deck is a sign of success. I have pulled that since I got this deck, and there's like at least 50 cards in this deck or something. Maybe not 50, maybe like 30 cards, nah, more than that. And I have pulled the card that says a sign of success like 1,000 times. Like it just keeps coming out, and I'm like, nice. So think of your question. We're just going to pull 3 of these and get some answers for us. And hopefully they'll be like clear answers and not like yes, no, maybe, because then that's just unhelpful. But can we have some answers, please, on whatever it is these questions are? Release this desire. Oh, release this desire. Somebody needs to do some releasing. Maybe this thing you're desiring isn't for you. Maybe it's a little toxic, you know? Release this desire. Somebody needed to hear it. Stop ruminating. Somebody is hyperfixated on something that they need to not be hyperfixated on. Stop ruminating. Stop stewing in it. Not yet, but it's coming. So the message would appear to be surrender. Your magic is potent at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the second you release, the second you surrender, the second you stop ruminating about it, it's me, I'm ruminating. Same. It's gonna come. Not yet, but it's coming. Like, calm down. I'm telling you, surrender is the final piece of the puzzle. When it comes to manifestation, surrendering is like the final piece. That is when it happens. When you're finally like, you know what? It's like in SpongeBob when Patrick is like, open sesame. Well, I've done all I can do. Like, that's like, you just gotta be like, well, like, I can't do anything about this. I'm gonna see myself out and just let it go and like hope for the best. Because again, it's that Saturn energy of like, if you've been doing the work or not, be honest with yourself. You know. And if you know you have, then it's fine. The scales are going to balance. Hands off, So that is all I have for you today, my friends. This will be up on my channel as our weekly reading. It's literally the simplest things at work, too. I've been having imposter syndrome majorly. I feel you. Look, I've been doing this. I've actually been in the online space for literally like 13 years or something crazy. And I've been, I hate saying like influencer, feels icky, but I've been in like the online social media public sphere for a while. And I still have imposter syndrome. Like I'm going through this rebrand, like I said, where I'm changing my name on social media and like kind of leaning more into this like influencer public figure, kind of jack of all trades, like person thing, because I do have so many followers now. I've had this huge burst of growth. I think across platforms, I have almost 700,000 followers, which is like so weird to think about. And I get imposter syndrome. I'm like, what? I don't understand why all y'all follow me. I'm like, what? Because I was the weird kid bullied in middle and high school my whole life. So I'm like, people like me? What is it's very weird. It's still very weird for me. And that imposter syndrome is real. I'm like, thank you so much, friend, for being here since the beginning. It's weird. I'm like, look at how far we've come. Like, huh? What? It's very confusing. But as long as you're being authentic and you're being true to yourself and you're being a good person and you're doing your dang work, it's fine. Let it go. I would sing that Elsa song, but I've actually never seen Frozen, and I don't really care for it, which I know is funny because I literally have Elsa hair right now, but that's besides the point. Release it, surrender it, and give it up to the universe or God or whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. Surrender it. Be like, I have done the work, and acknowledge, part of Saturn retrograde is also acknowledging the work that you've done, acknowledging how far you've come, being like, dang, I've really done that. Oh my goodness, like I have done, that's been a major theme for me too. Like, dang, I've done a lot, and a lot of things that still confuse me. That I'm like, what? That's like, I think it's all just finally hitting me because I haven't really had time or the energy to process a lot of things that have happened in the past month because obviously my whole being has been kind of distracted by my soul dog passing away, and I was just such in this like depressive hole that I couldn't really even focus on anything else. But going to Sedona really helped. It was a wonderful retreat. It was probably one of the best retreats I've ever had, and it was definitely a refreshing and like relaxing retreat. And I was able to kind of heal a little bit, and then I kind of was like, I've done so much, especially whilst these really difficult things have been happening. Like the week that Fozzie passed away, almost completely sold out all of my 2025 retreats, which is like insane. That's not even, it's 2024. 2025 is next year, and my retreats are already almost entirely sold out. Like that, what? What? My business is expanding exponentially. And I'm like, what? Like, and so to take that time to be like, huh, I've actually done that. I think just taking that second to appreciate how far you've come and give yourself some credit. Give credit where credit's due, So, anyways, does anybody have any questions? I'm not doing like personal readings or anything right now, but if you have any questions for me about the astrology or like whatever's going on this week or myself, I'm happy to answer. Like I said, for members, again, I do lives like this every week in my membership. We do tarot on Tuesdays. We do usually live yoga on Saturdays. This week we'll have a live new moon workshop because of the new moon in Cancer. Live new moon and full moon workshops. I'm trying to think of ways. We do like challenges and stuff. I'm trying to think of some ways to kind of revamp or freshen up the membership. I've had it. It's also weird. I've had that for like a few years now, and that's like my online coven here. So you just hit that join button. You can come join us. Yeah. Thank you, friend. I'm glad. I'm glad. What am I doing today? I'm planning some things because I am a bridesmaid in one of my best friend's weddings. She's also my nail tech. And so the other bridesmaid friend is coming over today so we can plan her bachelorette party, which is exciting. That's pretty much it. What else? I don't think I'm doing anything else. I just stay inside all weekend because also it's hot as hell in Las Vegas. We are like above 110 degrees like all week. And I'm like, it's so hot. So not leaving the house. Yeah, I live a pretty boring life. I think people see my life and they're like, well, Natasha like does cool things. I'm like once a month, once every other month, maybe I go do something cool. Otherwise I'm in my house 24/7. Like that's all I got. Yeah, moving to Salem in 2 months, which is crazy. Got so many cool things planned for Salem already. It's like weird that all these things are happening. I'm like still overwhelmed by it and still just like, this is my life. Huh? But I'm very grateful and I appreciate all of you, whether you're new or old here. I'm a piercer and people think I have this super cool, awesome life. Yeah. And I do definitely have a super cool, awesome life for sure. But most of that super cool, awesome life is me in my house about, just like chilling and watching whatever I'm hyper fixated on at the time. And yeah, I do go and do cool things sometimes for sure. But that's kind of the dream, right? It's like being able to travel like maybe once every other month and then like chilling. I do really want to. I have before I move to Salem because I will be like literally across the country. I want to do some things here on like the West Coast. I really want to go to the Clown Motel. It's somewhere here in Nevada. I'm like, I want to go to that Clown Motel, okay? I want to see the clowns. They have a Pennywise room, okay? I want to see my man. So I want to go to the Clown Motel. It should be not too far of a drive from Vegas. Yeah, I want to do just some like West Coast things that like I won't be able to do when I move to Salem because I'll be like across the country. So, we're gonna have a good time about it. Got some wedding stuff to do. I think that's pretty much it. I did just release If you want to learn business and social media from someone who's done it all, I have a business and social media course that's available now. It's self-paced. Usually it was a group coaching program, but now it's just there available for you to do on your own for a much lower price. It's called Nourish Your Business. You know, that's available. I do personal readings. I think they might be shut off now because I was out of town, but I'll double check and turn them back on just in case. I will always put out free content here on YouTube. I host Witchcraft and Wellness retreats in Salem. Sitting here watching your stream with my legs crossed yoga style like a pretzel. Nice. Usually we do yoga at the end of these weekly forecasts, but today was just tarot and astrology. I'm getting back into like my physical routine with yoga and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Again, if you like this live, if you want to join us, come join my membership. We do lives every week. Otherwise, again, I will have a class and a tarot reading for the new moon in Cancer up for y'all this week. I think that's it. So have a wonderful weekend, my friends. Wonderful Saturn in retrograde. May the odds be ever in your favor. I will see you for the new moon in Cancer, and have a wonderful week.